we are going live. As always, I don't know. Yes, you're live. So we're supposed to be live. Now I have this opened a little bit everywhere. So I'll try to not have all of this everywhere. So let me see. How are you? Hello, everyone, and welcome. Yeah, this is good. Back to the channel. Good. All right. I'll mute this. So again, welcome. Hi. I'm very happy to be here after a long time of silence. At least not silence. I haven't been anywhere. I just haven't done any live. Well, anything in English actually. So this is. I haven't felt the need or whatever for various reasons, but I think that sometimes you need an audience. Not having one, don't feel the need. But anyway, as I've done a lot of videos, a lot of stuff, and well, I thought let's go and let's do this, even though in the future I will probably not express myself in English that much. So I'll do some other stuff in other languages and other stuff, yeah, right? Because I've been working much more focusing in Italian and French and doing things here in the neighborhood, in my town, and connecting with people, going out, yeah, that kind of stuff. And well, after some months and after the month of August, I don't know for you, for me, August has been the whole month has been very difficult. So difficult in the sense that I've done a lot of work, but sometimes when you do a lot of work on yourself, you're not aware that it's happening, and that period it was quite feeling much disconnected. So it was very difficult to feel and to express and to have all the connections. It was quite different, but I realize now that that was a necessity, because the change that was happening was so huge, so big, that it necessitated a reset, to reset things. And I've been receiving a lot of information, and that this information is now coming forward, coming into my consciousness. I'm elaborating it, I'm allowing it to come forward, so that this is changing a lot of things. This is totally changing everything for me, and many things that I've been saying in the past, and that I've been kind of looking at, explaining how this reality works. Well, all of that, I trashed that in the bin, because now I've realized that a lot of that was more a question of pain and a question of not processing really, and now I think that there is a need of, as it's in the title of this, of reset, because things are different from my perspective now, and as I've also interacted, met amazing people these last few weeks and months. We've interacted a lot, and discussed, and many things have come out, and I have to say it's very interesting what is happening right now, and how that changed the perspective and what is coming forward. And my connection, my team, is the way my support is coming forward and giving me that support, and also new messages in a different way. And that is very interesting because I'm now really in a place where first of all, I've realized how much there is need, and I need to connect with human. I already knew, I already channeled about that, but these are the two things that are coming forward for me: is the connection, is the integrating the human and grounding on this earth, this reality, this earth, this body as a human. And that I did that 3 or 4 years ago. I channeled that you, the message was, you're human, you have to be human, you have to integrate your body, integrate the reality, and experience the human. That's how you ascend, by being human, by accepting everything that is human. If you don't do that, you cannot ascend. If you don't do that, I mean, it's no, that's not true. You can ascend, but different. It's different, and probably much more difficult to go forward, with much more pain, with much more disconnect, with much more bypassing, which is what humans are very good at: bypassing emotions, reality, processing. Oh, that's not necessary. Oh, just put that aside. Oh, don't process it. Oh, that kind of thing. No, you have to be human, and everything that is human is what we want. So emotions, we want emotions. We want them because it's human, because we're here for that. We're not here for whatever. We're here to experience exactly what human is. Because this is some sort of an experiment. Humanity is an experiment. And we learn from what we experience, not just as us as humans, we learn as extra-dimensional. And so everyone that is watching us, they are learning as we are experiencing it. They don't know more than than we do. But they do, but in a different way. They have a different perspective, so they can watch. They can have a much wider perspective than what we have, but they are learning as we do it. They are not all knowing as we thought. That's what they told me. No, we don't know. We are watching you to learn. We are learning as you're doing it. So the experience is what gives the learning to us and to our teams, to our people that are doing it with us, that are following us. So it's important to recognize that, so that then the human experience takes a completely different weight, different meaning, different perspective. So that's one thing. The other thing is the collective. So unity, collective. We are a collective, and the collective is always present. So I'm never alone is not a joke, is a reality. I'm always with the collective. I'm always, well, with all of me, actually, but also the collective. The collective is there. This earth that we are experiencing, that's the collective. We're not creating it alone, we're creating it with the collective. So everything that is, let's say, outside of my own perspective, which is what I'm creating, then the collective is creating it. So even if it's just the idea, even if it's just a blueprint, and there are a lot of blueprints, and you can find those blueprints, those ideas in all stuff that people are even presenting as new, and they are not new. but they think they are new, but they aren't. So things that are used as belief systems at the end of the day, that's what they are. So but anyway, and so that becomes much more important. And unity is where we are going. The unity, we are going to, we are discovering our connection with one another, and we are discovering how close we really are. Um and I'm connecting with that because the collective is always present. So again, as I said before, I'm never alone. The thing that some things it's so new, but it's not new, and it's have been so sad for so long. I'm not alone in my room or in my house or wherever. I'm not alone. Never, ever, ever, ever. And and just for the fact that everything is consciousness. So everything that is around me is alive, is in their own, they are. And so am I creating them? Not really. I'm creating my experience of them, but not the right. And to me now, I see that the thing of saying, "Oh, I'm creating everything." No, I'm not creating everything. That's a lie. That's a bypass. That's no. I'm creating my perspective. That's what belongs to me. But the reality we're in is created through a co-creation that is always happening. Co-creation with the collective. The collective is always present, always. So the idea of saying, "Oh, don't bother. You don't need to implicate yourself into anything. Disconnect. Stay away from that." That's not possible. You can't do that. The collective is always present. And so that to me makes the difference between being in your power and being able to process what you are, what you're feeling, what is happening, and bypassing, not wanting to feel, not wanting to have that presence, that heavy thing. And remember, it's what I'm saying here. It's my perspective. It's where I am right now. Other people are in another position and doing things in a different way, and it's fine. And there are a lot of people that are doing and saying things differently, like those that are saying that they are negative beings and that humanity is enslaved to the draconians. And they keep saying that it's nothing new. It's have been there probably for millennia, and they are still saying that, even though there is no proof of that. Even talking about a negative being, if you want to talk about negative beings, talk about humanity, because if you talk about the fact that the draconian want to enslave humanity, I say, really? Okay. Um, really, and all the beings that are negative towards humanity, like if humanity was the standards in the universe, and forgetting that if humanity had to encounter any other species, what humanity will do exactly what? They will go into war mode. If and you will have the secret services and the military preparing a response, even if there is no aggression. They will be behind the scenes trying to prevent or prepare a response in case of, completely forgetting that if you have a species that is able to travel through space to come here, visit us, they have a superior technology. If they want to enslave humanity, they can do it like that. It's already done. Goodbye, you're slaves. There is no way that it will happen in any other way. Well, Hollywood, forget that. That's bullshit. So that's just and the other thing about that is that they don't need to hide. Why will they hide? Why? Explain to me why a species that has superior technology, superior ability, will hide from the and hide in the shadow, and why they can enslave humanity and use humanity the way they want. So that doesn't make any sense to me, to pretend that, oh, there is a shadow government of whatever species that is enslaving humanity, right? This kind of thing, bullshit. But there are people that believe it. And do you need to go out there changing that? No, you don't. You let that go. Bye. Not interested. But to me now, all of this is even not important. But we come to the thing that is very much more important, which is humanity. Because again, humanity, the collective is always present, is always there. Because again, I'm not creating the whole world. Still, it exists. It exists. How does it exist? It exists through the collective. That's where you can find it. And as a being, I, Max, and everyone does that, I'm inhabiting this body. So how does it come to be? I'm not creating, but still have a body that I'm going to inhabit. So these are things that, right? Change the perspective. How is it happening like that? Well, that's the point. It exists. It's created. The reality is there because the collective is creating it. It's creating a environment. Some talk about matrix. I don't like it. That's not what for me that is. Even though it can go near that, it's not that. There is no one that is in charge. So we are creating it. And we say, oh, it's not real. No, it's real, baby. It's real. It's not fake. It's not real. It gives you the impression, oh, we can, right? Bypassing, it's not important. Who cares? Blah, blah, blah. No, it's real. Because as a human being, you are experiencing, you are having the experience. There is no bypassing that. There is no changing that. You are here. End of story. You're a human being having a human experience. So inhabit your body, be here, and have the experience. Now, from the perspective of the global self, of a higher self, of whatever you want to call it, it's different, right? It's the unconditional. But here is the thing that we are avoiding looking at because, well, and that is that our fifth dimensional self, or our a version of us that is extra dimensional and vibrating in a different way, we say fifth dimensional, is integrating. We are integrating, so we are merging with that, creating a new way of being human. But that is only possible if you are present as third dimensional in your body. That's how you can get that, because the fifth dimensional you has no clue about the third dimensional you. And if you do not have you, the presence in your body, in your now, how can you merge with the fifth dimensional and give, and each versions of you are taking the information with them, right? The technology and the information and the way of being together. So you have to be present, or it's not going to work, or it cannot work, so it's not going to happen. That this is what we are creating, and everyone has a version of it, a story about it that is told in a different way, but leans always in the same direction of a new version of human that is coming, which is absolutely true, but it goes into a different vibration. So it's integration is there, it's merging, is a hybrid version of us that is integrating a different dimension, because Because why would we create a new human that is still in this dimension? We're not doing that. But anyway, the important thing for me is to now convey and work in that direction, in the direction of the human, work with the human. It's about the human. It's not about anything else. It's about the human. It's not about looking into anything that is out of this world. Why will you do that? We are not here for that. Let that work to your team, to the people that are in their other version of you, in other ED and whatever. They're doing their job. They're doing it with you. They're doing it for you. That's fine. They're observing you. They're supporting you. They're there for you, and they're doing their stuff. You do not need to be out there. You're not needed there, and you are there, obviously, right? But you don't need to be conscious of to be preoccupied of that. As a human being, you are here on Earth in this reality to be grounded and to be present. Is it difficult? Oh, yeah, but of course. So many humans are so fed up and not happy with human because it's difficult, because it's heavy, because all the bullshit that we can have as an excuse. Matter of the fact, nevertheless, is still that we're human beings. We are here to have a human experience. End of story. All the rest is bullshit. Forget it. So that's why my work is around healing and support and giving the guidance that is needed in order to be, let's say, the best version of us that is possible. Bringing people to finally accept you are a human being. Accept it. So many are not accepting it. Accept that you have emotions. Emotions are not bad. They are all looking at us to see what emotions are, to understand the emotion. They are looking at us for that. Because we're saying, well, the unconditional doesn't negate emotion. The unconditional look at the emotion because the unconditional wants to understand the emotion so that they can integrate the emotion into the new blueprint of the universe. We are changing the game. That's why we are here. We are changing the game for us, but for everyone else. That's why this reality has been created. That's why these conditions have been created, because we want to know what is this and what are the consequences. How does this work and what are the consequences, right? How does that go? And in order to know that, there is only one way, and it's to analyze it from the viewpoint of disconnection, where you think that your actions have definitely a consequence or many consequences, and where you believe in it, so that we're able to study the emotions in a pure way, in an unfiltered way. If you know everything about everything, you're not having an emotion, because there is no need to have the emotion. You know that it's not real, right? What you are creating as an experience has no consequences. When you are fed up with the experience, you stop having the experience, you exit it. And this reality is created so that there is no exit. You must have the experience. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that, oh, okay, so I don't need to bother. No, it means that as a human being, it's real. And that's the point. It's real. There is no, oh, you've been raped. Don't worry. You choose it. No, you didn't. That's the new blueprint. That's what was fucked up with all the things that I was saying before, right? Saying, oh no, it's fine. You're a victim. Stop being a victim. Yeah, which still stop victimizing yourself, stop staying in the victim mental. You need to go out of there in order to be able not to be victimized again, right? The victim is attracting more victimhood. But what that's another thing. The thing now is you do not um, organize it. You do not have contracts. Oh, you had a contract with that being that it happens to be your parent, your mother, your father, or your neighbor, or whatever. You have a contract with them because you wanted to have that experience where they beaten you nearly to death. Oh, but you have a contract with them. Don't worry. You wanted it. You agreed on it. No, you didn't. That's not what it is. There are no contracts like that. What we have are potentials of experiences. But what often happens, because human beings work in that way, is that the experience is getting out of hands. Did I want to have the experience of being molested as a child? No, I didn't want to have that experience. I did not choose to have that experience. I incarnated. I choose my parents, yes. That's mainly, but it was not chosen through contracts. It was chosen. And then because I knew the potential of what the experience will be, but then it got out of hand. The beating, the being aggressed mentally and physically, and abused mentally, physically, emotionally, that was not part of any contract. It happened as human experiences happen. It happened and got out of and the suffering and the pain, that was not what was part of anything. It just happened. So we are experiencing what we are experiencing out of the experience, out of the fact that we are human beings, and this reality has no one in charge, and things just happen. And abuse and abusers and people that are in a position of power, very often what they do, they abuse the power. They abuse their position. Parents abuse their positions of power towards their children. Governments, well, the 1%, oh gosh, they abuse their politicians. Abuse. Why? Because they can't help it. Not everyone is abusing. There are many people that choose not to abuse. There are decent human beings that decide to respect the boundaries and to do the right thing. There are many others that decide to abuse. And that is what we have to recognize. Pain, suffering, they are not necessary. Point one. Second, they are not programmed. We do not want them. We do not subscribe to them. That's bypassing the pain. That's justification of the pain, people. Stop justifying your perpetrator. Stop justifying that. They fucked up. They went too far. And they are a piece of shit. Admit it. Accept it. It doesn't take away what they are. They are beings with whom you're having an experience. That's the point of view of creation, right? Yeah, that is true at the same moment. But as a human being, abuse is abuse. And until we do not admit that a situation is unacceptable, that it is unacceptable that someone behaves in a certain way towards another being, another human, we cannot heal. We are bypassing the experience. So we are keeping that alive, very much alive. And we pretend that we healed. We didn't. We can't, because we are pretending that, oh, it's fine. Oh, well, it's just whatever. No, it's real. So this is why I'm focusing much more in having the healing work and doing it from the point of view of the human, supporting the human. That is the work, and that is important. It's very important. It's not about ascension. Stop thinking that you have to do anything about ascension. Forget about ascension. Forget about doing whatever. Those things happen no matter what, and you do not need to focus on those. Ascension doesn't need your attention, ever. When you are focusing on it, it's not happening. Put your heart at peace about ascension. Ascension is happening. It's happening. End of story. It is happening. But if you keep avoiding your healing, that's not going to happen in a nice way, in a suitable way, in a lovely way. It's going to happen with pain. And pain is not necessary. Contrary to so wild, believed way, pain is not necessary to become whatever you are. And to be clear, it's not because you had pain in your life that you are the being that you are right now, that you are the person that you are right now. It's not because you went through so much pain that now you are this wonderful, fair person. You have always been a wonderful person, and you will be that exactly wonderful person without the pain. That's a myth. That's bypassing. That's a lie. Pain is not necessary. We're using it. We're still believing in it. People do believe in it. That's why we're suffering. It's because we believe that suffering is necessary. So it's happening and happening and happening and happening. But what people keep saying is, oh, I had my life was so difficult and I suffered so much, but I won't have it differently, because then it will change me into something different, and I want to be the person I am right now. Well, I have big news for you. You will be exactly the same person that you are right now without the suffering. It was not necessary. So that's where it becomes a choice, because we believe it's necessary. Doesn't justify it. It doesn't take away to our experience. But if we stopped having the belief system that suffering is necessary, that the pain is necessary, we won't experience it the way we are experiencing it. So that's the shift that we are having. It's happening. It's very slow, because the belief, the blueprint of the suffering, of the pain, is so strong still. And it's not just, it's also because of religion. Religion believe that right, Christianity, the sinner has to be punished and suffer. And so many people, oh, yeah, well, right. That's what we believe. And so it happened. But now it is time to talk and to say and to remind ad nauseum to everyone, no, suffering is not necessary. You do not need to suffer ever in order to ascend, in order to be the best version of you, in order to learn lessons. You don't need to suffer ever. And so I focus on these things from the heart to bring this awareness, but mainly it's and it's when I say bringing this awareness, to be honest and to be clear, I'm not here to change anyone, and I'm not here to impose to anyone anything. Whatever you believe, you believe. I don't care. If you believe in contracts, you believe in contracts. If you believe in suffering, you believe in suffering. If you evolve, if you change that, you believe, good. But I'm not going to push anyone in changing anything. Healing is not about that. Healing is about making people feeling better and being able to confront themselves with the reality and with comes, right? What comes, to be well with that and to evolve in a reality where they can thrive and be happy without all the weight of the trauma. And that's possible. It's absolutely possible. Whereas you will not forget, you will not have that gone, and still you are able to function as a human being because the trauma is not holding you, and the emotions that are created through that trauma are no longer making you suffering, making you relieve the experience, like if it was happening right now. When you are confronted with anything that is victim, with a victim that reminds you of victimhood, you're not going to lose your ability to function, which is what happens with many people, right? Every time that is, you just go. And I found myself being much more emotional, and I feel the presence of my wall learning about these things, observing it, and having a being able to work through the emotion. And that's only by having the emotion that is possible. To allowing it, to allowing yourself to experience it. Because how can your fifth dimensional self that has no idea about emotion, no idea about human, how can your fifth dimensional self understand that when a certain experience happen, you have a certain emotion that is related to that, and when you experience someone else having those experiences, then you recall it, and that is how you feel about that. How can it's only by experiencing it, by observing it, by integrating it. If you refuse it, there is no integration, there is no exchange, there is no understanding. So the work is different. And we're not doing the same thing, and there isn't just one way, which is something that I've also learned. So what I'm saying here is the way I'm feeling. It doesn't say anything about other experiences or how other people see things. That's their way. It's not about being right or wrong. This is my way. This is how I see things. I'm neither right or wrong. I'm expressing my point of view. And it's really very important to understand. And I'm expressing it as I receive it, as I'm going through what I'm receiving, then I'm giving it as it is. And obviously I'm feeling the presence. They're coming, they're also coming through as I'm talking. They are here in support. Which is how we function, right? And I've discovered the love in it, and I've discovered how close and how wonderful these relationships are. In especially now that I've been able to elaborate the vision, right? The hierarchy or the vision of superiority. I've understood we're equal. I knew, but now I know it in a different way. It's a different knowing. It's a experience. I'm experiencing it. I understand that I'm bringing experience, knowledge, awareness, and I understand they're doing the same. I have a perspective, they have a perspective, we come together to see what is that and what that is leading us. And as I'm experiencing, then they are able to know what that is and to understand, oh, right, humanity is this. So this is that, this is where we're going. And so this timeline is bringing there, and this is what that means, and this is what it is. They're able to have that vision that we don't have because we are stuck where we are. They can see farther, but they can do that only through our experience. They can understand only through our experience. And then there is the integration of what we are offering with our experience. All of that, right? So what I was seeing as they are superior to us, now I understand we are equal. We're offering experiences, each perspective, each understanding, and we're coming together. This is as much my reality as it's our reality, the collective, and our team support, friends that are around us, with us, and in us, and all of that. And that is moving this experience in different ways. So now I understand. Now I know I'm not alone. I'm not. And I experience that constantly. With the being that are with me, that I feel the presences in the house. I can't see them. They are there still, right? The fairies and etc. etc. They are here, and I can even see them, shadows or quick movement, or sometimes they're just signal something. Well, with anyway. So there's a need, or how can I say that? I have to put together the idea and see how to express it. The humanity, the human condition, the human experience, and the interaction from human to human, the healing, the perspective, where you're going, how you use it, how you interact with it, all of that. Human, heart-centered, and opening up and recognizing one another, recognizing I'm a being, you're a being, we are all humans, we're part of a collective, and we are experiencing each other. We're coming together in this moment, co-creating, and this is real. I'm having my experience, you're having your experience, right? This is all real. And do not bypass that reality of I'm real, you're real. It is all real. I do not exist for you, you do not exist for me. My experience is real, your experience is real. So have compassion, have the recognition, have the love, have do experience, and you'll see that when you integrate yourself, when you ground yourself and you are present in your body, present in your reality, you will experience differently. Your experience will be bigger, even easier, more interesting. Things will happen in a different way, because when you are present in your body, energy flows in a different way. And the problems that you have right now on earth, a lot of them come from the fact that you do not allow energy to flow. That's why you have so much disasters happening right now. Energy is not flowing. It's impeded to flow. It's kept, not expressed. There is a lot of suppression. You are suppressing yourself. You are suppressing yourself. And that's energy that is not expressed. There are governments that are suppressing their people. That's energy that is not expressed. And so that all of that energy that is suppressed and not expressed then generate. It's still energy and it still need to be expressed. And as you are not allowing it to flow, then it has to be expressed somehow, somewhere. So you have, that's one of the reasons, much more complicated than that, but that is contributing to your climate change. It's contributing to your hurricanes, to your earthquakes. It's contributing to all of that because it's energy that has to be expressed. And as long as you do not integrate yourself and allow the energy to flow, well, you are stuck with that. So allowing yourself to integrate, to be heart-centered, and to be in your power, to be in you, with you, and experiencing, that's going to make a huge difference in your reality, in your experience. So there you go. Breakfast with Max is dead, is gone, it's finished. We're not going to keep that. We are evolving into a new work, a different work, which is a work of healing, a work of transformation, a work of supporting you, the human, and bringing the human in a position to recognize itself and to express itself with love, healing the trauma, And remember, these are things that you do, but when you do it with consciousness and that you do on purpose, well, they reach farther and beyond what can be a simple action. So it's healing with the angels and everyone else, actually. But as you need always to attribute things to one thing or another, to blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what we came up through to. But we will all work with you, healing with the angels, guarire con gli angeli, guérir avec les anges. And you can find us at the moment. The Italian version, guarire con gli angeli dot et or it in English. Breakfast with Max, the website is still working, but we'll see what we're going to do with that. We're transforming it into something else and using it in a different way, that for sure. And for the English speaker people, well, you can we can use emails and those kind of things to have contact with Max, and you'll decide from there. Don't miss the opportunity. Yeah, that's the point. That's the thing. But here you go. It's a wonderful experience, a wonderful ride. Take the journey. Love you. Love you. Yeah, and this is something that I keep saying. And as I'm going out of here, this is a message that I keep saying and giving. You are worth the universe. You are worth everything. You are the center of your world. You are the most important being in your reality, in your world, for you. And that is proven, that is confirmed by the fact that you exist. Your existence is all the proof of your worth, and that you are worth the universe. Remember that in every moment, because that is the absolute truth about you. You are worthy everything, and nothing is more important than you in your reality. You're a wonderful being. You have always been, and you will always be. So if you need help, support, guidance, understanding, just contact us, and we'll take that from there and see where we go. But you will not be alone. You're not alone, and you are loved. Good. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for being here. And yeah, at some point, we'll see to connect again. Bye.